I'm not talking about golf.
Neither am I. I don't know a damn thing about golf, and what I do know comes from Happy Gilmore.
I don't even like Happy Gilmore. Adam Sandler's
Excuse
most
me?
overrated actor ever.
Ah,
All he is like, I like pee pee and poo poo, and I'm funny because I make fart joke.
you clearly only watched Billy Madison.
In every other movie he's done in the last fucking 20. He has not made a good movie since 2008, besides Uncut Gems.
Just because he's owned by Netflix now doesn't mean he's a bad actor.
When they continue to pump out shit ass films on Netflix, yeah.
Hey, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out. I'm excited about that.
Green 18! Green 18!
Fournette, the running back. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw. Throws a deep pass downfield. And Scotty Miller in the open. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Rodgers fires quickly. End zone is caught for the touchdown by Allen Lazard. First and goal for the 5. Brady. Evans. Did he catch it? Yes, sir. Touchdown. Rodgers spins to his left. Comes underneath, and the pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Now they say complete. 3rd and 1. Rodgers play action. Look to the end zone. Rainbow. Jordy Nelson. He's got it. Touchdown.
Mahomes looking under pressure. Throws the ball upfield. It is knocked away at the 50-yard
Intercepted.
line. Intercepted. Picked off a deflection. Buck.
All right, but enough about our
Well, anyway.
enough about our bullshit with our past lives as
Enough about
terrible
us being
football players.
losers.
What's up, guys? I'm back, and welcome back to episode 36. Oh, welcome back. Welcome to episode 36 of the Battle for the Bay podcast. With me, as always, Draz.
Howdy.
Now, we did all our record predictions, but there's something else in the NFL that often needs to be talked about. Who will be our award winners?
And there's a new one that we didn't do last year on here on our list.
Yeah, completely new award thanks to Andrew Whitworth and Jason Kelsey. But we'll get to that when we get to that, because it's going to be the last one we talk about, because it can literally be anybody.
Anybody, you say?
It can literally be any offensive lineman. But we'll get to that later.
I was about to say, then my pick for protector of the year is Henry Ruggs.
But anyways, we have a lot to talk about in a small amount of time, so let's get on to it.
All right, we start with the big one first, or we start small?
Let's start with the big one first, because it's going to be the most controversial.
MVP? That's going to be controversial?
Well, I mean, whatever comes out of our mouths, it probably will be.
I'm not thinking too
Like, we know it's a
crazy here.
We know it's a quarterback award. We know that already, unless Saquon Barkley goes for like 2,500 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be a quarterback. But I'm torn between 3 quarterbacks right now.
All right, well, let's see. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are the obvious choices. Patrick Mahomes could have a resurgence. I've seen things about Baker Mayfield being a dark horse.
Josh Allen's not going to win it because it's 2 years in a row.
Back-to-back
MVPs. Except for me. Anyway, I'm actually going to go a little bit. I guess I will be controversial. I am going to pick Matt Stafford.
I just don't see.
And say that Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams carries him up to a good season.
I'd have to disagree. I don't think the Rams are going to do anything. I don't understand why you're so high on them. Is it just because of Devontae?
Well, it's Devontae Adams mixed with the fact that last year they ended the season on a ridiculous tear.
Yeah, and they bullshit to half their wins. They're Chiefs light.
Matthew Stafford played great in the second half of the season. This year is going to be kind of a weak year for MVP.
Mhm.
And I don't want to just say Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
But at the same time, you got to think with your head. I don't think Matt Stafford's going to do it with that Rams team. I don't see it as a possibility.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Baker Mayfield.
To be fair, Baker
Mayfield would probably be my second choice.
To be fair, with Baker Mayfield, he's not my choice as much as I would like to be the biased buck, but my choice is going to be the vanilla option. It's going to be Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow? Speaking of teams going nowhere, that's a pot calling a kettle black.
I know it's not the out of nowhere pick. I know in my pick'ems I only had the Bengals going 9-8. But last year he got MVP votes while literally doing everything to carry that team to relevance. They just need some more effort on the defensive side of the ball, and they should be good to go, theoretically. Zach Taylor can always hold them back, which is usually how it goes, but...
Actually, should I run something slightly less controversial, but more controversial?
We'll stick
at the
to your
same
first one,
time?
but you might as well say it.
Because I didn't think about another player, and I'm actually kind of liking the idea. Jaden Daniels.
I don't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with... I could see it. Then again, you were the guy who said last year that said during our record predictions he was going to have a sophomore slump.
Oh, I said that he could, but the way he dominated. If you remember, I said the way he dominated last year doesn't lean itself to be a sophomore slump because he was so good last year. You know what? I'll say Jaden Daniels then. I'll say Jaden Daniels. I feel like that's a good. It's not one of the main four, but it also makes a lot of sense.
Next award, Offensive Player of the Year. This is basically your best guy who's not a quarterback. Question?
Or a quarterback.
Oh, on a rare time, yeah. But the question is, what position do you like? Do you like running backs or wide receivers? That's always who it comes down to. It's one of those two. It's never a tight end.
It could be a tight end.
Well, theoretically,
but they have to have a good season.
I don't theoretically it could be a tight end, but I don't think I've ever seen a tight end win OPOY.
The obvious choice is someone on the Bengals, including Joe Burr.
Jamar Chase is also a good option.
Jamar Chase, yeah.
Who won it last year? Was it Jamar?
No, it was
Saquon.
fucking
It was Saquon.
Saquon.
Okay. Let's see. Defense are going to be queuing on him more now. Let's see. Derrick Henry in year 2 in Baltimore. I don't know how much better it would be from last year. All right.
This is a tough one.
I got one for you. I will let the biased buck come out. I say it's going to be Bucky.
Oh my god. Bucky Irving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's not going to happen.
He led the team in scrimmage yards last year. He's a fantasy god. He's only going to get better in year 2.
It would be because our offensive line got better. It would be better for me to say Josh Jacobs.
Look, I literally could not come up with anything. I just went with my gut. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to choose something a little... I would choose something a little bit different. And I'm going to say this is going to be a long shot. Brock Bowers.
Honestly, that's not
for no other reason. For no other reason other than he has a quarterback now, and he was crazy last year. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to see it go to a tight end. Yeah. I know that is a horrible answer from trends, but I'm kind of going off of who I'd like to see win it. and because offensive and defensive player of the year are really hard to predict.
They are, because it could be
I
literally
mean,
anybody.
it's our
on the-
MVP.
It could be literally anybody.
Yeah.
But
So I'm
defensive player.
gonna
Huh?
do a little bit controversy. We're going with controversy. Brock Bowers and Jaden Daniels and Matt Stafford.
All right. Well, defensive player of the year. This is more obvious. This is going to go to most elite pass rusher or the most elite corner. There's only a handful of players that are like that.
Who won it last year was the Broncos, right?
I think it was either
Corner.
It was either Pat Surtain. That's who won it last year.
It was Pat Surtain. Well deserved too, because he's the best corner in the league, and it's not close.
Agreed.
Let's see.
But I think it's going to go to a tackle, not a tackle, but an edge rusher this year. All right, I'm going to do the thing you hate. I think it's going to go back to TJ Watt.
I mean, it's not a horrible pick, but he's just a fucking sack stealer. Like, I think he's one of the most overrated pass rushers in the league. Not to say that
I'm well
he's
aware.
bad. He's top 10. He's top 10, maybe top 5 even. But people act like he's like JJ Watt good, and he's like, no.
No, I'm aware.
He doesn't get double teamed ever.
I've heard your spiels about this.
It's not that I hate him. It's that I there's a bunch of Steelers fans that like get it in their head like he's some crazy god because he has a lot of sacks, but it's like
to be fair,
there's no context.
To be fair, they often win 4 or 5 games alone because of TJ Watt.
Well, the thing is people don't act. They're like, okay, well, you know, TJ Watt's this crazy player, but name one other fucking player on the Browns defensive line that's like going to get you 10 sacks. You have Cam Hayward and Chris Highsmith or whatever is on the Steelers defensive line, and Highsmith got 10 sacks. Highsmith got 10 sacks in a year where TJ Watt was healthy. Like he's ridiculously good as well. So they have a good pass rusher on the other side as well, on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of context missing as far as like I think if other players had as much help on the defensive line that TJ Watt has, they would be drastically better.
Okay.
That being said,
yeah,
I'm going to
TJ
choose.
Watt. Who do you choose?
I'm gonna choose. I'm thinking a second or third year player. I'm gonna hit Max Crosby up.
Oh, that is a good choice. That is a very good
I think
choice.
last year I said either Max Crosby or
No, I think you did Max Crosby. Max English is hard. Max Crosby last year, I think. It was either him or Myles Garrett. It's one of those.
I have two Raiders on my.
Yeah, no, I at least got one. But if you're going Max Crosby, that is a very, very good pick. I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, that's actually a good pick that makes sense.
But
my offensive player of the year is not exactly that, but it's who I want to win. So
yeah. But moving on to offensive rookie of the year, Ashton Jeanty. I am not going to change my mind about that.
We're gonna do actually.
But I like Ashton Jeanty. I like Ashton Jeanty a lot better.
Is Jeanty gonna be the number one? Like, what team was he drafted?
He was drafted to the Raiders, and they had no running back to start.
No. Oh my. Well, dude, I gotta change something about my offensive player of the year. I gotta change my offensive player of the year pick. I cannot have 3 Raiders. I cannot have 3. Okay, so we're gonna make Ashton Jeanty.
Hold on. Who was your offensive player of the year again?
Their tight end, Brock Bowers.
Oh God.
I cannot. Yeah, I gotta change that pick.
Raiders,
it's supposed to be controversial, but
if
Jesus.
the Raiders fucking get 3 people on awards, Geno Smith had a fucking great year.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put actually gonna put Joe Burrow as my offensive player of the year pick.
Okay. Joy,
Just
I'm
say a
sorry that
quarterback
he
wins it.
walked back about 3 picks in.
I didn't realize that. I was thinking about Jetty a long time ago, but I forgot he went to the Raiders.
Oh well.
Like, I can't have 3 Raiders. It'd be like the Raiders awards.
Okay, but I got Ashton Genty. Do you got Ashton Genty?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. There's balance in the universe. Defensive player of the year. This is more tricky.
Dude.
Or defensive rookie of the year, not defensive player of the year. I can't even remember. I mean, the obvious choices Abdul Carter, but he's on the Giants, and the Giants' defensive line was not very good last year.
Okay, the Giants' defensive line is great this year. Just this year.
Like, but besides besides Abdul Carter, I can't really think of a defensive player that's been chosen in the draft. Other than Billy Bowman and fucking what's his name? The linebacker I want on the Bucks, but he got taken by the Saints for whatever reason. Dan Stutzman. Those are the only 2 I know, and that's only because they went to Oklahoma. And they were both big knees that the Bucks needed, but Jason Light sat there with the thumb up his ass.
I'm going to do something controversial again.
Uh-oh.
The Eagles always draft great on defense, so I'm going to say Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama.
An explosive choice.
Exactly. I was going to say Jalen Walker or, one of the, like,
one of the 2 pass rushers
Abdul Carter
drafted.
It's a little, yeah. Or do something like Walter Nolan from on the Cardinals or something. It's something like a little bit controversial, but they're higher up in the draft, so it would make sense. I'm gonna do based on teams' draft history.
I got you.
Draft
honest,
history.
I you know what? I actually will agree with the Jihad Campbell pick. That's just fitting.
Yeah, it's the Eagles always draft defense well.
It makes a lot of sense, and they do draft defense pretty well. I'll say we saw last year with Guantanamo Bay and White Boy Summer in the secondary, and look how good it worked out.
Yeah. All right. Next pick is comeback player of the year.
Let's see. Who got hurt last year, and who's most likely to come back? That's the question.
But it doesn't have to just be injury, so we could pick Nick Chubb again. I think one of us at least picked Nick Chubb again.
I picked Nick Chubb last year. I picked Nick Chubb last year, and I sadly didn't happen. But like I would be fine doing Nick Chubb again, but the problem is he's on the Texans, so I hope he doesn't work out.
Let's see. Trying to think of what players had season-ending injuries last year.
Chris Godwin.
Oh,
he's all he has an ankle snapped.
I have my pick.
Go
it's
ahead.
An obvious pick.
I don't have mine.
Let's see.
Is it Jordan Love?
I'll give you a hint. He's in the NFC North.
Is it Jordan Love?
No. He's a defensive player.
Aiden Hutchinson. That's who you're picking.
Yep. It only took you two hits. I'm gonna pick Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch is coming back from a season-ending injury, and if he turns up the heat
the entire year, the Lions probably go all the way.
Oh, they would have won everything.
Just watching that replay of his legs just snapping in half. It's still miserable.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Hutch. That's a great pick for comeback player of the year.
I'll agree. It's either gonna be him or it's gonna be again, bias buck. It could be Chris Godwin because he went down halfway through the year and snapped his ankle in half almost.
I was going to
But I
pick
will
Hutch
agree-
or Aaron
I will-
Rodgers because everybody wants him to fucking fail.
I will go with Aiden Hutchinson. I'll agree with it.
Coach of the year.
Dan Campbell, he's been robbed of it the last few years. His time is due.
If my predictions go right and they win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl as a 7 seed, maybe.
Like, I'm sorry, but Dan Campbell's been robbed of it the last couple of years.
Okay.
First, Kevin Stefanski
I'm
won
going
it over
to-
him whenever the Browns had the worst quarterback situation in the NFL and Joe Flacco carried the team. And then last year, Kevin O'Connell won it because of media said that the Vikings weren't going to win anything, and they went 14-3.
I'm going to go a little bit because I had my predictions, right? I have my predictions, but I'm gonna do a little controversial pick again.
Mhm.
But you're also gonna be like, I see how that makes sense because if they overperform, then it would be totally justified. I'm going to say Mike Vrabel.
Oh, that is a very good choice.
Because
I like-
let's say
I like
they
that
make it to the
choice. I like that
playoffs.
pick.
Let's say they make it to the playoffs after going like 5-12 last year, right? Or something like that.
They went 3-14, I think.
It was 3-14, 5-12, something like that. They were terrible last year. And say they go 9-8 and squeeze into the playoffs, or 10-7 or
Again,
something
I
like,
would
you know.
not. I'm not upset with the pick. It is a great pick. I like Mike Vrabel. He's awesome. Even though,
Dude,
even though he has the Ohio State scum on his resume, he's
The
awesome.
fucking-
He's a great coach.
the
He
Titans
got
are such a
fucked with-
garbage
he got
franchise.
fucked by the Titans. He lost a power struggle and they chose the wrong side of it.
The Titans are such a garbage franchise, bro.
Again, I got them going to the NFC. I got them going to the AFC Championship game because Cam Ward has a Jaden Daniels arc, but that's about it.
Oh my god. All right. Now, protector of the year.
This basically just goes to your favorite lineman. Who's your favorite lineman?
I don't really have a favorite lineman. I'm going to actually go. Let's see. What's the? I could just pick NFC North. That's like where I know the most offensive linemen is the NFC North.
All right. Here's your option.
But it would be out of pettiness for the fucking the Chiefs or something, like Humphreys or whatever his name on the
Creed Humphrey.
yeah Creed Humphrey.
No, okay. Creed Humphrey is legitimately a great center.
Yeah, like having him go to the Bears and then winning Protector of the Year after just trading him for a 4th-round pick. That'd be pretty funny.
Wait, you're thinking of Joe Tooney. Creed Humphrey's on the Chiefs.
Joe Tooney.
Joe Tooney was traded from the Chiefs to Chicago.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Okay,
That would be funny.
it would. But I'm just gonna pull the bias card again. Tristan Wirfs, best left tackle in the league, by bar none.
I would say that's a good pick. I don't know if he's the best left tackle. He's definitely top 2.
Who's over him?
See, most
Well,
of the
Trent
most of the people I'm
Williams is
thinking
also-
of are
Trent Williams is also a good pick. It's just that he's old.
yeah. Trent, it really just comes down to how old Trent Williams is this year,
He's like
and then
37,
Tristan
I
Wirfs
think.
becomes the best left tackle. So
Hold on. I'll look this up. How old is Trent Williams?
I would have said the New York Giants left tackle, but he had a bad year last year. Adrian
Oh,
Thomas or
I was close.
Thomas?
Trent Williams is 36.
okay, what is why can't I think of his name? Why can't I think of his name? What the fuck was a rookie? Joe Alt. That's my pick.
Oh, Joel, that is also a great pick.
He was exceptional last year.
That is a tremendous choice.
And we both think that the Chargers are going to be good this year. So
Yeah, I hope to God they are.
I think this is going to be a great year for running backs
It could be.
in general. I mean, the Packers' offensive line's better. The Bears' offensive line is way better. I mean, the Lions' offensive line's worse, but it's still good.
And Ashton Genty might not have the best line to work with, but he almost broke the rushing record in college.
Yeah, even teams with bad offensive lines, but then you have the Ravens and the Eagles still.
Ow! Damn, my knee.
I think running the ball this year is going to be like,
especially since everybody's complaining about too high safety looks, not being able to pass the ball.
Yeah, teams with a good run defense might be the pick for Super Bowls this year.
BUCCAADERS, go Bucks!
I don't think you. Well, I mean, you guys have one good defensive lineman for run blocking.
No, we rank usually top 10 in run defense, if my mind remember.
Because of Vita Vea only.
What happened against Baltimore, I still don't want to talk about, but still, it was King Henry. He was neutralizing the entire game, and then he broke off for a 67-yard run.
Let me just look, just for curiosity. If you want to transition us to the news, I can do that. We can do that, but I'm just going to say 2024 rushing defense. Baltimore, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, then Denver. Then Detroit and Green Bay. And then Miami? What? Miami's in the top 10?
That doesn't
Who's the worst?
That doesn't
Carolina.
Either. Of course it's Carolina.
Carolina averaged 179 yards against.
Could you imagine being
Damn.
Can you imagine being the running back who's rushing for 179 yards in one game?
Okay, so Baltimore is like really good at. Okay.
But I'll say I think they
Stopping
still
the
had
run.
one of the worst pass defenses, though. I think Tampa was the same way.
Oof. Well, based on the news, they might have fixed that as long as healthy.
But
that's a good transition.
All that being said, it is now time for the news. And starting off, I'll let the Packer fan talk about the former Packer.
Yeah, so that's a good segue. Talk about Ravens' run defense into passing defense, because the Ravens got a number one corner. They signed Jair Alexander. What was the size of the contract? I love the signing, by the way.
1 year, $6 million.
Yeah, dude, they got him so cheap.
I know. I'm kind of upset because I wanted him to go to the Bucks.
Yeah, and
because we need all the corner help we can get, especially with two rookies.
The with Jair Alexander off the market, like we'll see, but he only got $8 million. He got $6 million plus a bonus $2 million. That does not. We were paying him like 20-some million. We saved 17 million by cutting him. That just shows you where his value is right now. You know, people don't trust that he can stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he's great. That's the thing, is he stays healthy.
I know, that's the thing. Like, I know, and I agree. You said this last year whenever they were talking about trading him toward the middle of the year, but he stuck around.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. We'll see. We'll see about his health, but I hope he does good at the Ravens.
Well,
hope he gets a pick 6 on Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship before they lose.
They won't make it that far. Neither of them.
I hope to God.
But next up, Shedeur Sanders channeled his inner Georgia Bulldog, and he was cited for driving 101 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone.
You know what I saw today? I saw somebody make a meme and be like, "Huh, this isn't the first time he was caught speeding. He went earlier this year. He went 167th when he was supposed to go 25 or something like that, talking about his fall in the draft. And so people are memeing that too.
It's just minor drama to drum up. That's drummed up because Shedeur Sanders' name is there. But at the same time, use your fucking head. If the speed limit says 60, go a maximum of 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit. Don't blast at 100. You could kill somebody. But then again, speed has never killed anyone.
Ironically, the next name. Ironically, the next name.
Ironically enough, with that, Henry Ruggs appeared at a prisoner thing, like he spoke to incarcerated individuals, and he apologized for the accident he caused in 2022, I think. Was it 2022? 2021.
Yeah. Good God, dude. I what would this world come to if he actually got back in the NFL?
We're fucked. That's what it'd be. It'd be fucked. Because, I mean, like, it's already known that the NFL doesn't care what you do as long as you got talent. If you don't have talent, you're fucked. And you're got no place in the league.
I mean, I guess I would rather have Henry Ruggs in than Deshaun Watson.
I mean,
because at least Henry Ruggs is serving time for his crimes.
Yeah, but then again, to be fair, I don't think he was like released or he had a reduced sentence. It's still the 25 years he did. It's still the 25 years he was handed.
So, somebody was saying that, or still somewhere that he could get like released on bail in like as early as next year or something.
Okay, correct.
I don't know for sure.
3 to 10 years in prison.
Yeah, so people are saying that he could technically come and get a chance in the NFL. But anyway.
Yeah, but that being said, some basketball news before we go into the obvious. The Lakers are being sold for $10 billion. Now, to give context, I think the Commanders were sold for $6 billion in the NFL to the current owners. I think it was $6 billion at least. And the Broncos were sold to the people who own Walmart for, I don't remember, but I think it's $12 million. I'll check.
Man, we should have put up our houses as collateral and bought the Lakers SDS.
$4.65 billion. Okay. Broncos were sold for $4.65 billion. Commanders were sold for $6.5 billion or $6.05 billion. Meaning that I think this is the most expensive transaction for a team that's been done at least in the past 25 years.
I'd hope so. The fucking Lakers history.
The trophy wife of the NBA. The abused trophy wife, I might add. But I don't care who owns a team. I don't care who's on that team. I just hope they fail. Nobody likes the Lakers except for like the 50 people in LA that care about basketball.
And everyone who liked Kobe.
Well, that's true. That too. And also, I guess also since Shaq also went to there, I don't mind the fact that Shaq went to there. But still.
All right. Speaking of NBA.
Yeah. With any luck, this is going to be the last game of the finals tonight. With any
God, you
luck.
jinxed it so fucking bad.
I know, I jinxed it so damn bad. But with any luck, this will be the last game of the finals, and I'll be going to OKC and be happy. Happy.
I think it's going 7, dude. The Pacers are just
with the Thunder's
black
history,
magic.
With the Thunder's history, we might go to Game 7 just so we could try and win it at home to celebrate. But Thunder, do us a favor. Don't give me a heart attack, please. I already had one during Game 5 where you missed half your 3-point shots. Not Game 4 in Indy, whenever that happened. I do not need another one. So please, spare me. I don't need that to happen again. You hear me? Good. Now that I said all that, watch it all go sideways tonight, and they miss all their 3-point shots and half their free throws.
Well,
Oh, and also,
Dude.
they're also without Halliburton, so that's also E.
Oof.
Like, I think he pulled his hamstring or something, or had a strain. Like, he's gonna try and play, no doubt, but how effective is he gonna be?
All they need him is for the game-winning shot. Just cart him out.
Yeah,
bring him out on a dolly.
If the game one shot didn't happen, we would have had this wrapped up last week. Ugh. But moving
All
on.
right.
Some baseball
Tampa
news.
Bay.
Some baseball news. The Rays might be getting sold. Rays are in advanced talks to sell team to a Florida group.
This has been a rumor in Florida here for months.
Yeah. Owner Stu Sternberg is in advanced talks to sell the franchise to a group led by a Florida-based residential developer. Patrick Zalupski, a home builder in Jacksonville, has been identified as a potential lead buyer in a deal that would sell the team for 1.7. Sternberg bought the Rays in 2004 for $200 million. That is a great return on investment.
Yeah. So I think their baseball field is having issues.
Oh, you don't say with their roof being torn off because of Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, but they like refuse to like replace it, or like there's like this just endless.
The thing is, like, because the Rays are located in St. Petersburg, and that is the one thing St. Petersburg has that Tampa doesn't. So they don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose it. So they keep trying to find ways to keep it in St. Petersburg, and anything that's in Tampa gets immediately rejected by the St. Petersburg Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so it's like it's in hell, and I actually get trying to sell, just saying I'm done with this shit. I'm out.
I think it was Sternberg pegging the fact that they wanted to keep the Rays in St. Petersburg. So if he sells, then that gives the free reign for them to move to Tampa proper. Because when they're good, Tampa does care about baseball. Like they do care about Tampa. They do care about the Rays. It's just that when you're located in St. Petersburg, that's a good 40-minute drive from the middle of Tampa, and on a bad day, you could be stuck in traffic for about an hour and a half. Like, Urinary Tree did a video on this. It was well done, and I agree with most of his points. Especially since the fact that Tropicana Field is a complete dump.
Yeah.
Without the fact that their roof got torn off by the hurricane. Like, Tropicana Field is not the best place to play baseball. They have rules in place in case balls hit the freaking catwalks up there. And that fucks up a lot of things. Poorly designed stadium. I know you have to go for a dome because it's in fucking Florida, and Florida is the worst place to play baseball in the summer. But, yeah, just do what the Marlins did. Redo your stadium somewhere that's going to be accessible. Give it a roof, but give it like a retractable roof. It's not hard. It is not hard.
All right, next bit of baseball news.
Yeah, Nick Castellanos got benched. And then he's coming back.
I don't know why they benched him in the first place.
Probably because he's not smacking home runs. He has to wait for a worldwide or national disaster to happen. Actually, it's fitting because his comeback came whenever Iran bombed Israel.
So he comes back. He hits 7 home runs in one game.
We all know anytime a national a disaster or a worldwide news event happens, bet on him hitting a home run. It's a given, and it's the easiest money you'll ever get.
And now for even less newsy news, the Panthers beat the Oilers. Again.
I don't care about hockey. I really don't. If the Red Wings are out of if the Red Wings are out of the playoff race, then I'm just done with the season. Like, the Red Wings are all I care about. But I will say I was kind of pulling for Edmonton here because, Edmonton, Canada hockey teams haven't had the best go of things as of recent.
I'm in Florida, and I didn't want Florida to win back-to-back.
What's the worst that can happen? They can imitate the Lightning.
But I mean, I guess it's fine.
Like the last time
I guess it's fine.
The last time I actually paid attention to the Stanley Cup is whenever Tampa was trying to three-peat, and they ended up doing it. So, I think that was against Montreal, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. To be honest,
I think it was against Montreal. I don't remember. All I know is that Canada teams have been on the wrong end of people going Florida teams going on win streaks in the Stanley Cup.
yeah. Oilers are now 0-2 against the Panthers.
That's unfortunate. All
Canada
right.
sucks at hockey. Changed my mind.
Hey, as long as the Toronto Maple Leafs keep their meme stats alive, I'll be happy.
All right,
last
well,
bit of news, and shockingly, we're going into the WNBA. We all know the story of Caitlin Clark, right? Great at Iowa, drafted in the first round to Indiana.
most popular female basketball player of all time.
Most popular female basketball player of all time. Honestly, you could kind of argue Angel Reese because she's getting every marketing deal known to man.
No, they're forcing Angel Reese. They don't have to force Caitlin Clark.
But from what it looked like, well, first for the story, the WNBA says no suspension is going to be handed out for the fight that happened a few days ago in a game that involved the Fever and I think it was the Queen, not the Queens, something, the Sun.
The women basketball players.
But a fight broke out. Caitlin Clark got bodied and slammed to the ground. Not slammed to the ground, but bodied. And then a fight broke out afterwards and yada, yada, yada. Question is, how much longer is the WNBA going to stand by? We see Caitlin Clark get absolutely abused by other players at times. There's physical play, and then there's straight up getting bodied and decked.
There's going to be like a Caitlin Clark rule. It's going to be like the Caitlin Clark rule.
Oh, Lord.
And they make it, it's like going to be like roughing the passer.
But according to the WNBA, those things were, the fouls that did happen got upgraded to flagrants. And whatever flagrants were called were upgraded to flagrant 2s, meaning that they're going to be, they were going to be pulled from the game anyways. And I think potentially fined. But, hey, WNBA, if you care about your revenue, and you care about the little viewership you have, make sure that your players don't bully the person that's actually bringing you in the most money.
Yeah, because it tends to put a damper on things, money-wise, when you injure the intentionally injure the person that's making you money.
Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know anything about the WNBA. I don't know much about it. All I see is that I just keep seeing these reels.
Yeah, if we keep talking about this,
I keep just seeing these reels of Caitlin Clark getting absolutely bullied by other players.
We keep talking about this. I'll go on another rant for the second week in a row about how we should do sponsor deals on women's basketball teams.
Not again. But that is it. I am seeing no other news worthy of talking about. But,
yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, that is it for episode 36 of Battle for the Bay. If you like this, hit the like button, subscribe, click the bell to get notifications when we upload. Next episode will be out next week, assuming we didn't get canceled for the WNBA bit this time around. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week for episode 37 of Battle for the Bay.
Peace.